Welcome along to VRS round 3 here at the Miami Autodrome. It is a sprint race tonight, replacing what was meant to be a sprint last week, deciding that it's much nicer to just enjoy the conditions a little bit today. And what a day to have a sprint on. It's Tuesday night as always. I'm Leopold, alone for today, as Fran Manuli is going out on the piss or something. It's a bit of a delayed start because I realise we do not have OBS set up. We don't have anything, so we're ripping and gripping. Here's ST. He'll be our first driver, starting a lap down towards turn 1. Get it on nicely on the brakes, and then swing it through turns 2, 3, and 4 the best you can. Keep it tight as you can to the wall and bring it all the way to the right before flinging it through turn 5. You want to half lift a little bit around this section just to gain back some of that battery, because you're going to need it for the back straight. A lot of understeer in ST's car there, and he invalidates his effort as it goes. So not what ST would have been wanting. Next driver attacking though is MH Max in the Racing Bull, and look at the battery he's already used in that first sector. Again, that same understeer, you'll see it consistently throughout this weekend through that left-hander. It's such a difficult corner to get right, but all's well that ends well. He's still going on the straight, lagging around a little bit, and then it's a little bit of a lift and coast. Maybe he doesn't even think of the lift and coast into the hairpin, where you've got to get ready for this tricky, almost stadium-like section as we go under the freeway. Flick it left and right, and he has cut the track yet again. Plenty of invalidations going on this grid already. LOI Not Jack is behind, and he was preparing a lap, I would believe, but unable to do anything. So is that... It's not Sinyo. Who is it in the white car? It might just be Yari, who was also invalidated a lap. His teammate FaZe Monkey out there right now. I think the first driver actually on a timed, unless we got Joker ahead. Joker ahead is nothing. So first proper timed lap will be coming from FaZe Monkey. Daniel actually blind to him on the track map. 26-4. Early doors for him. To the line for FaZe Monkey, and it is already a brilliant effort. Quiet Boy does well to slot it into third. One of the Alpines coming to the line. That's Orabeng, the Spanish Armada himself. Couldn't do much as we go to Vinny next over the line. It's nothing great for Vinny. As we look further up the order, one of the McLaren's Pooley reserving in today, UNF1. First appearance in Velocity Racing Series, only P3 for now, 26-7, as Billy Wiz comes to the line. It was invalid. It was not good enough at all. Welcome to the session, by the way. Bluefoot, goodbye to Billy Wiz, who disconnects early on as Sinyo. 29-9, first effort going on the board for him today. It's not what he'll have been looking for. We try to get Billy Wiz back into this lobby. Everyone around the track trying to get laps together. Ben puts it in P10 for now in that Mercedes car. 28-4 from him. Not looking the most competitive compared to everything else. Shamrock makes it into the lobby as well. Thank God. He declined attendance pretty late, so I wasn't sure he was going to make it. Aston Martin now going to be fielding their full lineup of drivers as we watch. Joker, he's going to come around this penultimate corner to the line, and it's a 26-9 for him. It's nothing special right now. The guy you'd expect to see plenty of special laps from, Yari, can put it P3. That is still a good way off the back of the man currently on provisional pole, being FaZe Monkey with a 26-0. FaZe Monkey, I mean, it's effort from him you wouldn't expect. You've also got another reserve as well, Andy the A-Team, not making it tonight. He's being replaced by MPA3 Gamers, also known as Puzent. And I have to tell you, it is certainly something I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do in this grid, around this track. Maybe a little less prep than he would typically like. As Shamrock finally makes it into the lobby, he'll be ready to start. 12 minutes to go already in this qualifying session. LOI Not Jack, a driver looking for form right now in Velocity Racing Series, will be starting his lap. It is going to have to be something very special to start his session off right through turn 1. It doesn't look very confident. It looks almost easy on the brakes, trying not to have a lock up on the rear end. It's so easy to do this year, but he's already down on the battery, but it's good pace so far. Big lift through the left-hander, trying to save some battery, but he's very late trying to get that car lifted off. It's a nice time though through this first sector. 29.7 for him. It won't be the fastest, but it's certainly good, and he is not draining that battery as it stands down this back straight. Recharge already beginning on LOI Not Jack Saudi as we go off board to watch him through this beautiful section of track. So difficult to get right, but so rewarding. For every inch of track you decide to take, everything he can through the chicanes, between the walls, throwing that car left, right and centre on the track, and he's made it through there, navigated incredibly by LOI Not Jack. Little wall tap on the exit, bring him down to a long back straight towards what is the real final corner on this track. It's the final braking zone, that's for sure, and it's hard on the anchors. Flick it left, get it round the corner, straighten up, and he'll be driving that Audi to the line. How competitive is this lap from LOI Not Jack to the line? It's only a 27.5. It is not what you would expect from the likes of Not Jack, as Hyper will be looking to set a valid effort now as well. Next driver on a lap in that Racing Bull reserving for today, I believe, taking a lovely little toe off the back of the McLaren. You better not try and argue that was impeding, because that was intentional, getting a toe from him. But Mr. complains every single race about the rules. Throwing it now through the middle sector, keeping it nice and tight. A little snap there as you try and get the power on. It's so difficult. It's combined traction and a change of direction all at once, leading to heaps of issues for the drivers. 102.0 is the split as we cross the middle sector. He's about 6/10 up on the likes of LOI Not Jack. How deep into the 26s can Hyper get, maybe? Because we need to see a little bit more competition at the front, because right now FaZe Monkey dominating. Gets a big snap in the final chicane for Hyper. That's going to ruin the end of his lap, maybe put him down in those 27s as well. It's a 27.2 P10 for Hyper 295 F1. So I'm interested now to see FaZe Monkey commitment already looking incredible around this lap, and that is ridiculous. He's another 10th up. Is he going to make it into the 25s with this effort? He's coming down the back straight. There's traffic in the final corner, starting their next laps. On the brakes though, hard into the final corner. Get the car straightened up on the exit, get the power down, and boost enabled now. It will be all the way to the line. You get a little bit of straight mode to help you along. It's a 25.9 from FaZe Monkey. Time found across the lap as we go now, and we're going to look down at Shamrock, who can only put it P16. P15, sorry. Interesting though, ST hasn't set a valid lap yet. Yellow flags behind him waving. One of the Ferraris, it looks like, around in the chicane. So easy to do, so easy to clip the wall with one of your tyres. Luckily, it seems like for whoever that is, which I believe it's Richie, it isn't a collision with the front left, because that can lead to some absolute tears. ST to the line now. He can slot it P3, but P3 is all he will give it. Good effort from him. Yari, though, looking to take that P3 position back away from the German in the Audi. One driver still yet to set a valid lap time, and that is MH 1463 in the Racing Bull. Yari, though, desperate to start performing. He's turned offline. I believe that leaves him assist-free in this game, which will be interesting to see how he performs today with that, but it's good. It looks committed by Yari already. He crossed that middle sector split, but he's lost time. Time falling away all the time. Quiet Boy now up in 5th as well. And look at that battle for 5th, 6th and 7th. It's separated by 16 thousandths of a second as Jari will fling it into the final corner. He's going to try and build that gap to the battle behind for P5. What does he have in the tank? Did he save more battery this lap? He crossed the line, and that is a Cadillac 1-2 as it stands. Daniel starting his push effort now, and this is important. This is critical for him as we see Joker jump up into P6. Starting to find a bit of a groove, maybe. He needs it. It's not looked comfortable. It's not looked confident, this game from him. Looking as well. Orabang just crossing the line. Was that Orabang? No, that was Pooley who slapped it up into P2. It's an effort that he needed to get himself up the order. Stuck a little bit in the middle parts of the top 10. Right on the front row, though. That is where you want to be into turn 1. P2 isn't exactly the worst place to be around the Miami International Autodrome. Through the middle sector, though, with Daniel, he is committing hard, but more work to do. As you get the car straightened up, it wants to understeer, and understeer hard when you get out of that corner, but he's found a 10th so far on this lap, and there's cars ahead of him. How much of a tow? With yellow flags, though, hurting him. How much time might he lose? There's a car off in the hairpin. That is maybe MH. I'd like to say maybe Vinny. Out there, Daniel to the line, though, still finds time. Not an improvement in position. More critically for him, confidence needs a building. Jari is going again on a set of tyres he's already done a lap on. Interesting strategy from him. Orabang is crawling on the back straight. Maybe a little spin, or who is his teammate right now in that Alpine? Shaw Moist getting a little toe actually off his teammate. Shaw Moist, unfortunately, not performing a hot lap right now. MH finally valid and looking to put a time on the board. How competitive is this going to be? I mean, you look at competitive and you think Agent Singular, that 129.9 could easily become a 124.9. Only 5 seconds in it, and I don't doubt Singular is capable of finding that. Here comes MH, though. It's time for him to cross the line, finally have an effort on the board. It puts him P19 only. But we're going to look further up the order as well. Sinyo. How far can he get in this session? Because that 29.9 is looking not so promising. I mean, this middle sector looks a lot nicer than I would have expected from a slower lap time. But that is what costs so many people their lap times around here. How about Jari? A little bit down as he finishes that middle sector. Needs to come into the pits, though, if he wants the opportunity to go for one more run. And he is going to pull into the pits. It looked like he was going to stay out on track, and that is commitment to the pit lane at its finest. Everyone queuing in the pit lane. One of the Mercedes being held up by their teammate coming out. I think that's Ben, and that is Ben, who was held up by his teammate coming out. Let's see who's out on track right now. ST P6, FaZe Monkey P1. It's 6/10 between the two of them, there or thereabouts. And we are going to be ready for a final 3 minutes of qualifying that should send quakes throughout the scene. As I have had 2 pings, Blue and Sham, wanting invites. Unfortunately, I wasn't paying attention because this qualifying session is gripping. There's FaZe Monkey slowing down. So ST almost certainly going to be the first on a lap if it weren't for his teammate down in P14. LOI Not Jack will lead the pack to the final laps. Is this a double warm for Not Jack, or is this going to be he's giving himself that buffer to go again if he makes a mistake, to go again if he invalidates? LOI Not Jack, traction already looking so edgy. On the exit of that final corner, he'll start his final effort around the Miami Autodrome. It's a 27.5 on the board for him right now. That is not what you'd expect out of Not Jack in the Audi. You'd expect to see him fighting and fighting forward hard. Through the first sector he's coming. It's looking reasonably nice right now. It's going to be a flick through the chicanes. Bit of traffic already in there for him. but out of the way nicely by the McLaren. There's a Red Bull just in front of him as well, who pulls immediately as well. Out of the way, not wanting to give an advantage. That's a 4/10 gain in Sector 1, if I have ever seen it. We'll take a look in a moment at what ST is doing in that other Audi car, as LOI Not Jack has travelled all the way down that straight. ST 3/10 down in that first sector. What about FaZe Monkey? 3 drivers right now on laps. FaZe Monkey is a 10th down on what LOI Not Jack could do in that first sector. So let's follow along with how he's gone through the rest of this lap. Middle sector looks almost like it's slow. It's only half a second gained. Massive drop in performance through that middle sector for the Audi of LOI Not Jack. It's almost like we're talking realistic cars here, except the fact that FaZe Monkey wouldn't be on pole in a Cadillac right now. Hard on the brakes, a little bit of a lock-up for the Audi driver. He's going to straighten up. He's got to do what he can, and he's in the wall. And that is LOI Not Jack's session coming to an abrupt end. Where else are we looking? ST. Final corner for him now if he wants to make his challenge for pole position. Plenty of drivers around starting their final efforts as well. ST to the line. It's not enough. FaZe Monkey has found more time throughout his lap. He's already on pole. He extends that advantage by another 10th, a 25-8 for him. Incredible work here as Joker now, once I figure out what my keybinds are, is coming to the line. He is starting a final effort for the ages as that Hyper, not in the final sector but in the middle sector, MH reaches the line. He hits the flag on his outlap, I believe that was. So that's him done. Vinny will be stuck P9. LOI Not Jack 15th. Sean Moist 18th. Quiet Boy found a little bit of time, but it's not enough. Where else are we looking? Bluefoot just finished a lap as well in the Red Bull. I believe we've got one of the Alpines up ahead trying to finish a lap. It's that Orabang. Orabang finds 2,000ths. What does Hyper have in that Racing Bull? It's only P8 for Hyper 295 F1. Not enough being done as Yari, he has done it, at least provisionally. It's P1 pole position for Yari right now, unless there is someone out there that can stop him. Shamrock is not on a lap. HB Cook, what does he have in the car? Pleasant couldn't find time over P11. Here comes HB Cook to the line. It's P7 only. ST is on an in-lap Joker with time being found, and he will be the last person trying to fight for position in this qualifying session. A little bit of time found in this final sector could go a mile for him in terms of grid position. He'll round the final couple of corners. He will bring it to the line. What does Joker have? And it's not an improvement. He has not done enough. It's P10 for Joker. But look at the grid though. 1, 2, Cadillac, Yari, and FaZe Monkey, and it's a class over the rest of the field by 4.5 tenths. But there is your grid order for the upcoming race. It's Yari from FaZe Monkey, 1 and 2. Pulik, P3. Daniel, P4. And HB Cook, P5 for the main race. But when you look at the sprint, it's Sinyo from Richie, from MH, from Moist, your top 4. We will join you back momentarily for the sprint race. we'll come back to live a little bit early. Looking at sprint grid, it's going to be Agent Sinyo from Richie from MH, your top three. MH has already said this is his P1 to take turn one, as is Richie, so plenty of people preparing to take the top three. Sean Moist has just disconnected, so we're going to pray he can get back in before the start. Otherwise, he might be a little bit cooked. Ben from Billy, from Not Jack, from Shamrock, your top 8, top 10. Score points as a reminder. But we're going to get ready. It's 5 red lights for the sprint race here in Miami. And it is lights out, and away we go. It's a good start for Agent Singular on the front row. He gets away nice and cleanly, but Richie is going to take a look to the outside line into turn 1. It's a tight line taken by Sinyo that just about maintains in the lead, but he's leaving space back there. Car in the wall already. I believe that's Ben, who is out of the sprint on lap 1. Both Mercedes in trouble, as is LOI Not Jack in the Audi car. Sinyo from Richie are your top 2. Through the long left they go, and it's time for a slipstream train. Yari and Phase Monkey gaining places further back. Hyper dropping down the order early on in this race, and Sinyo away by 2/10, but not enough battery it seems, because it's going to be 3 wide out in front, and it is going to be the lead taken potentially by MH if Sinyo can keep it on the track. He has not kept it on the track. He has gone miles deep. Sinyo up into the lead. Look at Puzant as well, further back, as they are 2 by 2 for some of them through this next section of track. Somehow, driver surviving. Orobank, 10-second time penalty. Massive crunches into the wall. There's a car there. I believe that's one of the Cadillacs. Maybe no, that's the Haas of Daniel, who is already out of this race too. 2 drivers out of the sprint early on and into the hairpin. Here goes Billy Wiz looking at the inside line. He can't make the move go and stick on Richie, who will maintain P2. Overtake mode is now enabled, and it's available for your top 6 entirely. As Orobank pulls into the pits, wing damage, we believe, from him with a crunch into the wall. As through turn 2, already Richie struggling on that traction, looking further down as well. HB Cook and Quiet Boy scrapping it out. Quiet Boy looking again like another driver with wing damage. So that's positions made up. Look at Cadillac already. There's Phase Monkey up to P7 already, and Yari is not looking like he wants to stop on board with the Belgian bottler himself in the first sector as Orobank retires from the sprint session. That's him done. Here comes Yari spams L2. Yari bottles P1, whatever you want to call him. He is on the back of HB Cook. It looked like contact. That's just a bit of lag as we head into the hairpin. And Yari surely thinking about taking the position he does. That is up to P7, P8 for him. Strategies medium or double medium for the sprint race as we hear contact into the wall. Is that Shamrock, who's maybe been scraping on that wall a little bit too hard. As we go now down the back straight, Shamrock on the back of this train. He's going to pull out and try and make a move. Richie up in front, thought about it. It's late on the brakes for Billy Wiz to protect that position. But keep an eye out now for the 2 drivers in P7 and P8, because things may go down between them. Hyper is going to get past Sinyo, as is ST, if he can get the power down on the exit. The Audi and the Haas, wheel to wheel on the main straight. They are prepared to go and duel, and that is a move made for ST. Is he going to try and make another one up the inside of Hyper? This is a battle you wouldn't expect to see fought out, but Hyper, massive damage on that front end for him. So ST will take the position. Sinyo is going to try to fight it back, further back against Hyper 295 F1. They are wheel to wheel, and Hyper makes contact, and he is sent off into the wall briefly. Comes back out of it nicely, but here's Shamrock now up at the front of the order. He's going to make up a position. Look further back as well. There is Phase Monkey. Cadillac are on crack cocaine tonight. P5 and P7 already from a start at the back of our sprint order today, and they have broken away. MH though broken away right out in the front of the order. Billy Wiz and Shamrock. I believe I've got some terrible internet right now because everything seems to be going haywire. Why am I streaming at 12,000 kilobits? My stream might actually just be absolutely destroyed right now. What's going on? It seems my stream is having a few minute issues right now where I am getting all sorts of send rates. But we will continue on. MH out in front. FaZe Monkey. Fastest lap of the race right there in P5. MPA3 Gamers, otherwise known as Puzant, is going to try and look to fight forward in this race. He has an angry Cadillac, though, already on the back of him. Hyper pulls into the pit lane. He is retired from this session. That's him done. That wing damage hurting him incredibly hard. As what has happened to ST? ST, has he had a spin? Because that's him dropping down the order. That's damage on the car for ST. But we got to look back in front, because this train is now reaccumulated. Yari has dropped away a little bit from the back of these guys. He's going to hope to catch up, because 6 cars right now fighting ahead could do him the world of good. There goes a move. Puzant is going to get Billy Whiz, or can he hold it even? Through the right-hander he goes. Puzant not able to make that move stick, having to wait and see as we go further on into this race if he can make that move. Yari's got a tall order to do as well right now. 2.2 is the gap between HB Cook and Bluefoot. Yari just on the back of them. Cadillac, though, hashtag Cadillac cheats in the chat if you think that Cadillac have found some sort of grip hacks for today. Up the inside, there goes Puzant. He is going to make the move on Billy Whiz, and this time it's going to stick. The same can't be said for FaZe Monkey, who is also defending. He's also now on the attack, though, of Billy Whiz, who's going to have to fight Puzant in response. Contact there between the two of them, and that's going to allow FaZe Monkey to make the move. Bluefoot is going to be looking as well in the background to try and make this position up, but Bluefoot not close enough. It's close, but no cigar for him here on lap 5 of the sprint race, as everyone is closer and closer to being settled in for what it promises to be an exciting race here in VRS. My dog is so excited that she has come over to watch the race right now. That is how good the on-track action is looking. Shamrock and FaZe Monkey both trying to look for a move on their respective sparring partners. The guy who has gone for a move and made it stick is Yari. He has passed HB Cook, but that will not help. 3-second time penalty for the Cadillac driver as we go through the chicane. Yari with a lot of work to do now, because this top 9, which one more position, you've got your top 10 who all will score points this race, are oh so close right now. Billy Whiz with a gap forming. FaZe Monkey with an attack brewing on the outside of Puzant into the final corner. He lets Puzant maybe try and go deep. He wants the switch back, but Puzant beautifully covering it off for the time being, at least, though, because that boost mode, that overtake mode, who's burnt more of it? It looks like both pretty even. Billy Whiz, though, is going to have Bluefoot for company. Bluefoot on the outside. He's going to be looking for his way through right now. He's getting frustrated on the back of this car. And keep an eye behind the two of them as there's a little bit of contact. Bluefoot getting his elbows out of there a little bit too hard against Billy Whiz, because here is Yari. He's going to look maybe to the inside of the long left-hander, and he is going to make that move. Come the exit, but the traction not sticking with him, at least for the time being. HB Cook is also got on the back and looking to follow the lot of them through. Can HB Cook put even more pressure on Yari? Yari having to burn it all into the hairpin. Yari will take P5. HB Cook, not so bad yourself, son. He's up to P6, but still scrapping it out. He's still wheel to wheel with the Red Bull, who has to let it go, at least for now. It's not worth it. Shamrock has filtered down to 4th, by the way. So Puzant on the back of our race leader being MH1463. But FaZe Monkey, the looming threat in this entire thing. Yari only about a second behind, might even close just in this final corner to that overtake mode on the exit. Look at how close they're all getting. Yari struggling with the traction on that exit. The wheels spinning up, temperature skyrocketing as he tries to force the power down. There is apparently some arguments going on in the Discord right now, and I am looking forward to reading those after the session. But right now, I don't have it pulled up. Look at this. Pooley trying to make his way back through. HB Cook, Pooley and Bluefoot all fighting it out for P6. Pooley round the outside, contact into Bluefoot. HB Cook looking left and right on the back of this fight for a way through for any sort of opportunity that can be given, but nothing going on. Up in front though, FaZe Monkey has had the exit that he needs. He's got a decent little chunk of battery to use. He can use as much as he wants. Runs out just there, but it's later than Puzant. He's going to look to the outside of the Williams car. They're going to stay wheel to wheel through the stadium section. FaZe Monkey miraculously makes his way up to P2. Right now, what a run by the Cadillac driver. There's still one more way to go though, and that is to P1. MH1463 is ahead of him. What can he do to make this move the easiest of his life? On the brakes he goes. It's a little bit earlier for FaZe Monkey, who may be looking for an exit, maybe looking just for any opportunity that he can take. On the back of the Racing Bull ahead of him, he is committing his battery hard into the first corner. It's a late dive to the inside. Maybe a little bit of a squeeze there from Max, but it all looks okay from what I can see. But that exit so critical. FaZe Monkey is on an absolute murder spree right now. 20 drivers, well, 19 drivers taken. Here is his 20th to the inside. And that is FaZe Monkey taking P1 for the time being in this race. Your lead has changed for the first time in a long old time as ST pulls into the pits. He's going to retire from this race. MH though trying to take back P1. FaZe Monkey has overcommitted the battery. He's down to P3. Gary has found his way through this little gaggle, and he is going to be all over his teammate now, who is trying to find a way through against the Racing Bull. Look at your top 5. Nose to tail from P1 to P5 right now. Exits are going to be more critical than ever, and it looked good for Yari. It looks good for FaZe Monkey as well. Everyone getting ready for 2 more laps in this race. 2 more laps where the scraps will just get more and more violent out in front. Don't count out your point scorers as well. P6 still a position highly sought for by HB Cook, Bluefoot and Billy, who is currently held by Pooley. 2.1 seconds back from this absolute kerfuffle that we're seeing out in front. In fact, P6 looking a little bit under threat in turn 1. No move being made though by the Aston Martin driver for now. This is a bad sign that the voice is already going. There goes FaZe Monkey. He did the same on the last lap. This time he's going to have a bit of a toe on the back of his rival in MPA3 Gamers. Looking to make P2, P1, but is it the right time to do it? He sure as hell thinks so. He has committed his entire battery bank to going for this move. He looks to the outside. No move is going to be made. Someone has lost a little bit of front wing there. Who was that lost an end plate? Maybe Yari in P4. It looks like it might have actually been the P4 man, Yari. Losing that right front end plate is going to hurt him a lot around this lap. Maybe in the higher speed more than the slower speed. As Puzant and FaZe Monkey are going to go at it once again. They may be about to start the final lap, but they sure as hell want to fight it out like it is any other racing lap. Look at the front though. Puzant looked up the inside. The exit is poor. MH Max in the Racing Bull looking for a podium today. Can't quite find a move into turn 1. In fact, a little later on the brakes. And a tap from the Racing Bull into Puzant, who has started to drop back a little bit in Sector 1. FaZe Monkey, though, really committing that battery to try and make everything work. Yari wants to have a say in the podium. He might not be able to secure it at the end of the day. He might struggle to secure many points at this rate, judged on how these gaps have climbed and fallen throughout this stint. Shamrock is on the back of Max. That is the closest anyone is on track right now. Puzant not looking like he's even close to getting FaZe Monkey. Shamrock unable to get to get MH right now. As it stands, MH will get a podium. One of the Audis, LOI not Jack. It's been a depressing race for him down there in P14. And he'll have a lot to learn for his main race competition. Final run now. Down the back straight. They are going to deploy everything they have. They are going to do whatever they can. FaZe Monkey, though, into the final corner. He has done everything right. Barring one position, he has took everything he could from this grid. 20th to P1 in the sprint. It is FaZe Monkey's Cadillac who wins. Puzant crosses the line in P2. It's P3 at the end of the day for MH. Shamrock was caught and overtook by the McLaren of Pooley. Pooley P4, Shamrock P5. It's 5-6 for Aston Martin. Consistent results once again. Yari P7 as it stands. It's a good result from him considering the penalty, considering how close that grid was. It's 8th for Bluefoot in the Red Bull. Joker made his way to P9. And Billy Wiz is who is going to round out your point scorers today. Shaw Moist, Sinyo, Vinny, and LOI, not Jack. The 4 drivers unable to score. ST, Richie, Hyper, Quiet Boy, Orabank, Daniel, and Ben. The 7 drivers who could not finish the race. Alright, I love a bit of drama here. So let's take a look quickly in the Discord. Richie crashed out and turned his Xbox off. Bluefoot is saying it is Formula E. Audi Disaster Class from ST. That is a beautiful screenshot I'm seeing. These are some great screenshots. So, let's see. Daniel, bro, do you guys know how to drive? Vinny just killed 3 people after cutting a corner. I mean, indeed, he was a mile off the track from what I can see. Jack killed me at 12. Vinny put Daniel into that wall, which saw Daniel get wing damage, it seems. Wow. Richie has had a real crash out today. Wait, is Lewis racing? Okay. Ooh, some handbags. Oh, Yari and Hyper. Controversial moment. He goes deep. He resafe join these. Wow. I mean... I'm reviewing this on my end right now. It looks like Hyper's just unlucky. You guys all got to see some chaos happen at the start that I didn't decide to watch. I was looking at what's going on. Anyway, that is the sprint complete. We'll be back shortly for the main race. Well, it is away we go here in Miami. Into turn one we go. I was a bit slow getting ourselves back up to speed. Looks wheel to wheel and feisty in the middle of the pack right now. 2 by 2. Most of these drivers seem to be going through this first part of the lap. Everyone, though, surviving nicely early on in the first sector. And everyone getting through clean. It's Yari from FaZe Monkey, from Pooley, from Daniel, not Jack and Shamrock. Swapping positions for P13 right now. Shamrock trying to maintain that 13th position. Not Jack. Forced to stick where he was. Sinyo made up a few places on the start. Back down to last. Vinny's gone. Sprint F1 joins us instead. As here comes Pooley. He's taking a look on the inside. More as a defense from Daniel. As around goes the Spanish Armada. Down at the hairpin. He is out. There is a McLaren being clouted into the wall sideways. That's Billy Whiz, it looked like, as it's carnage through the chicane. And on to lap 2 we go. There's another Ferrari backwards. That is Richie down there in P21. Let's look out in front. It's the Cadillacs leading by a healthy 6th margin from the McLaren of Pooley in P3 at the end of lap 1. Happy rejoices coming from that Cadillac camp, knowing that they have a 1-2. They have control over this race. And it's a 1-2 both on the same strategy. Medium tyres for both Cadillacs as it stands. Let's take a quick look at the tyres while we can. It's Quiet Boy. It's Puzant, not Jack, Shamrock, MH, Sinyo and Richie all on the hard compound tyres. Talking of Shamrock on tyres, he's losing out to a medium runner right now of Ben in the long left-hander. He's going to look to come back up the inside, isn't he? They are still wheel-to-wheel as well on the exit. Ben losing the position to Shamrock's exit there. It's beautiful. It's incredible. Out in front. It's a change of lead. Early on in this race, FaZe Monkey taking the bragging rights for the moment over his sparring partner in Yari. Further down, Hyper makes his way up to P6. Time coming aplenty for these drivers. Everyone getting ready to settle into their race. How much underfueled is everyone going to be? That is typically the question we're going to be asking. Apart from a few select tracks, how much fuel have people elected to take out the tank? The Cadillacs deciding to play nice with each other. There's Yari up the inside of his teammate, but they might come out wheel to wheel on this exit. FaZe Monkey retaking the lead. Yari a bit deep on the brakes. Is this going to be a scrap early on between the Cadillacs? It was a decent battery burn from Yari, and that might put him under a bit of threat from Pooley in turn 1. But no move able to be made. Your top 8 all still within that overtake train that we're going to come to know and love over the duration of this game. Yari, the first man with overtake mode, you would think, being sat there in P2. As the gaps out in front don't really seem to be opening. Daniel seems to be trying to find an opening on the inside of Pooley. Looked to the inside of the long left. Nothing really coming from it. Sounded like some wall scraping there. There is the Cadillac of Yari. That is the lead once again. FaZe Monkey low on battery. Pooley is going to be a threat now. Inside of the left-hander, the hairpin for FaZe Monkey. Nothing going on. I'm getting Steam messages. We are loving life right now. ST and Hyper seem to have squabbled a bit because they've dropped away from our top 4 right now. Yari, FaZe Monkey, Pooley and Daniel. Let's look from the back of this train. Daniel going for a move on Pooley. Too much scrapping could cause a controversy here. Cadillac running away if they fight it too hard. Nothing on the way in for Daniel. Nothing on the exit. The switchback covered beautifully by the McLaren driver. Hyper filtered down to 7th. Is that traction issues again for the Racing Bull, who seems to be struggling like hell on traction during this game? It doesn't matter if he is struggling into turn 1. He is going to point that car through the first couple of corners. Is he going to be able to keep that P6 squabbling away with the likes of HB Cook? Just about maintains his position for now. But for how long is this ability to hold on going to be maintained? Looking at the order, the break is at P5. The move right now is Yari being overtaken by FaZe Monkey. Was that a mistake on the exit for the Cadillac driver? It might have been. The battery getting burnt down to 0 for both Cadillacs, and Pooley and Daniel on board with Daniel. We're going to see Yari under pressure. He's gone deep. He's going to try and keep it on the track right now. Yari, wheel to wheel with Pooley. He is not giving up. He is never giving up and has to concede at the very end, just before death occurs in that car. Battery fully recharged for Yari as they reach that exit, and that's going to be critical with Daniel so close on the back of him. Daniel, a feisty driver on his day, probably even more feisty right now. He's looked to the inside. It was a brief joust, a jab maybe, on the inside, trying to scare Yari off his line. Nothing coming from it right now. Your P2 has changed from Cadillac to McLaren as Orabang picks up a 3-second penalty down there on P21 for corner cutting. It has not been Orabang's race. It might be Hyper's falling away now, because here comes HB Cook. He's on the outside, which will switch to the inside of Hyper. Backs out. A bit worried maybe about that squeeze coming in a little bit down the line. There's Hyper up ahead. He's trying to take a look to ST's inside. ST giving Hyper more respect than he really deserved, because that's a change of positions for P5 as Orabang retires and leaves this VRS race. He has given up. Here goes HB Cook outside of ST. Can he make something happen? No, he can't, as Yari has fallen to P4 now. The pace isn't exactly falling away for him. It's just lack of ability. As I heard my dog, but I don't know where she is. There goes. Come here. We're going to bring the dog over to get some fusses, because she is one needy thing. Looking at lap 5 of the sprint here, it's already nearly 10 past 9. No wonder my voice has already decided it wants to give up. That is wheel to wheel between Not Jack and Joker in the final corner. Not Jack making up the position as it stands over Joker, who doesn't look his best on this game, as lap 6 seems to be where we might see a bit of a settling of this race, from constant scrapping to a few jabs being sent between all of these drivers now. Yari, again, I think that's where his issues come, struggling on that exit. From the long left-hand tightens all the way through, just dropping away every time he goes through there. No moves happening out in front. There might be a move happening here, though. There's HB Cook, and he is more than happily through on ST, who tries to fight it back just that little bit, but can't commit to it hard enough. HB Cook's mediums looking good. Hyper, look at the understeer he had through that chicane. That car fighting against him at every opportunity, it seems. Now the dog is sufficiently fussed. My focus back to the race, as always. She's just lying there staring at herself in the mirror while I stare. At 20 now, as Orabang has retired, given up on this race of URC's finest, going to a scrap, except maybe MH, who seems to be struggling just that little bit today. Looking down at P10 as well, someone else who's struggling still. I mean, it might just be with the regulations, it might just be with the game. Joker, who looked so promising at times throughout the duration of last season, still struggling. As there's Yari's bottle coming into play. It's a 3-second time penalty for the man in P4. And more critically, he has dropped out of the overtake range of the cars ahead of him. It's so easy to do, and that's going to cost him as he continues in endeavours for the rest of this race. Out in front, no change for position. Let's have a look further back. There's the move for P7, Quiet Boy, and ST having a little scrap there. LOI Not Jack after a terrible sprint race for him, wants to try and make his way back through, and does so. ST dives out of the way to give the position up as Shamrock as well, in that lean, probably not so lean, mean green machine, is up to P10. It's a different green machine than we had last season. Here's Pooley to the inside. That is ambitious, is all that you can call it, as Pooley, massive snap with the power coming down. Might open the door for Daniel. If the battery is there in that Haas car, it hasn't done. Pooley will live to fight another day. But sketchy moments, as Joker will be the first person to commit for a pit stop. Likely now a 2-stop strategy to the end. Out here now, having to conserve water to hopefully make my throat get to the end at this stage. Christ, this race. The sprint race was already good enough. The race has been a whole other question already. But here's Daniel looking on the outside of Pooley. Not going to make a move stick. My dog having another little whinge right behind me. She's getting some more fusses now. As through the chicane, they rise and fall onto the back straight for their next effort in the United race, in the Velocity Racing Series. Oh, I nearly just got myself fired. Let's go. Here goes Daniel. This is the opportunity, and again, passive by the Spaniard. The only remaining Spaniard in the field. Up in P3 right now. He's typically so rapid, so confident, but that will to overtake right now does not seem strong for him. He's taking it nice and easy out there. Hyper, HB Cook, your next two to come in for a pit stop at the end of lap 9, at the end of lap 8 it'll be. But they're pit stops, and on board with Daniel. He is around, he has hit the wall, and he is oh so slow on the track. That is Daniel. His race almost complete. There is LOI Not Jack. And Quiet Boy now having a good scrap. Not Jack was let go by his teammate to take this fight. And that is P4 taken, at least for now. Is it secure? It actually looks like it is, because LOI Not Jack with that bit more battery available to burn. As quietly as well, Yari has made his way back towards this leading fight. Don't count him out yet, because anything could still happen in this race, and Yari has worked his way into that overtake range of the car ahead, struggles in that middle sector for Pooley, and probably a bit stronger than his teammate as well through that part of the lap, has led to now Yari 0.4 of a second his gap. Massive lift and coasts for Yari into the final corner. Look at the battery regen on that Cadillac, I tell you. We will be starting lap 10 though. Anyone looking for a pit stop on this field who hasn't done their race prep, and who has, it's going to be Blue, it's going to be Daniel with that damage, it's going to be Sprint F1, all making their way for their first pit stops in this race. The Wiggles is having a look out the window. She's having a lovely little stare right now. Sean Moyes, 10-second speeding penalty. Already a bit down the field, so we'll have to wait and see whether this is the end of his race. It certainly is the end of his contention, because with 20 drivers still actively driving at the end of lap 10, we would be more than likely to see a great result, as that is Richie maybe with an issue. There's a brief yellow flag in that first sector. Richie seems to be the one that's slow. Pooley nearly gets Phase Monkey there. I'm glad that Pooley didn't get Phase Monkey, because I was not watching. And look, I can't blame F1 TV direction. I am the TV director here. I show what I want to show. If I want to show Sinyo driving around in P20 and talk over that, I will. What does Pooley have now, though? It's about that time in the race you would expect to see a bit more aggression from these drivers, a bit more aggression with the pit stop approaching And FaZe Monkey maybe trying to back Pooley a little bit up as well into his teammate, who seems to have the ultimate pace for the time being. The undercut is going to be huge from Daniel if he's managed to pull it off. That wing repair, though, will not be helping. And obviously, he made his way out of the way quite nicely with his small pirouette. That's what we'll call it. My dog is back to lying next to the chair. We will now have dog update segment throughout this race. It will not be leaving us. Sut to the very end. At this stage, MH, 10-second speeding penalty. That's his race concluded. Pooley now, though. Round 2, and this looks a very convincing attack from the McLaren man. FaZe Monkey is going to try and hold it. He's going to try and fight it. Can't do anything. FaZe Monkey loses the lead, and it's the first time in 11 laps that we have seen a non-Cadillac driver leading. Call that 12 or 13 if we count the sprint. That's how dominant they have looked. Sinyo retires, and that is a virtual safety car out on the road. Sinyo in the barriers, it looks like, at the long turn 3. 3 pit stops for your leading group. Surely upcoming Yari is going to be the big loser here in having to stack behind his teammate into the pits. They should all come. Yari has stayed out. I can't see that being the right call. Into the pits for your top 2. Yari will take over the lead from LOI Not Jet. Quiet Boy early on the pit stops as well. Haven't seen the safety car yet. This race, I didn't see one in the sprint either. But is this the right decision? I couldn't say it is, because look at that pit exit. There's Pooley and FaZe Monkey coming out. Let's count another couple of seconds. And you'd see Yari coming out probably just ahead of HB Cook. And now, under full racing conditions, that ahead of HB Cook is not going to exist unless we get that full course caution coming out. And it doesn't. Back to racing speed we go. Keep your eye on P3 and P4. 5/10 is the gap. Fresh hard tyres for the 2 of them. If they scrap too hard, opens the door for HB Cook, opens the door for Hyper, opens the door for Yari. Who knows? FaZe Monkey, he's notorious for being the one that caused the safety car to win Quiet Boy that first championship. Whether it was intentional or not, I will not discuss. But FaZe Monkey there in P4. I mean, this time he is on a much different race than just being down and out. He is P4, which is a net P2, based on the drivers who have not pit into the pits for Yari, it looks like. And we're about to see some time loss and a half. FaZe Monkey all over the back of Pooley. Nutjack is going to keep going now. And you can see that gap was only 11 seconds. The pit loss, massive around here. Yari has thrown it. FaZe Monkey throws it to the inside. But a move not yet ready to be made between the 2 of them. Let's see. Yari coming out of the pits. He'll come out in P7 with a decent chunk of work to do to bring himself back at least into podium contention. But he is going to want that race win towards the end of the event. FaZe Monkey, though, good exit now. And is this Cadillac taking the net race lead once again? Battery, not incredible for either of these drivers. FaZe Monkey is going to try and use it all. Pooley deploying a little later on the straight. He left a little bit in the bank. FaZe Monkey still going to take a look to the outside. But there is no commitment level that he could have to bring himself into that leading position for now. Yari out of the pit still and looking relatively decent. He is pulling from ST at least. So no threat from behind. There's your race leader just disappearing. Out of shot. LOI Not Jack yet to pit. And 4-second gap to the leaders. He is almost a pit stop down. FaZe Monkey this time. Surely it's the move. Surely it's the net race lead. And it is. For now. Because that exit is oh so crucial But Pooley, unable to do anything. Did he save more battery? Perhaps, as Shamrock has disconnected. Thank God they didn't fight into turn one. Because we will talk again about how the fact I am the TV director here, so I'm the one to blame. Fastest lap of the race comes for Quiet Boy. Yari is looking even faster still than the Williams driver ahead of him. He is closing in at a rate of knots. Quiet Boy on that medium tyre, likely going to have to make it a two-stop from here. Let's take a quick look at your tyres. Not Jack, the only driver still on tyres he started the race with. FaZe Monkey and Pooley, 2-lap-old hards. Hyper and HB Cook pitted 5 laps ago. Quiet Boy pitted a lap before Yari, and that might have been what cost him. Here's Pooley, by the way. That's another position stolen back. These two having a scrap away here. Full position. And Shamrock says P10 and disconnect. Not worth it, so he may be not coming back at this stage. Look at the struggles we're seeing from LOI Not Jack now. FaZe Monkey and Pooley have massively closed in on the Audi driver. We wouldn't expect much of a fight to be made from a driver who should know at this point he is a pit stop away from this fight, and Pooley is going to push that car through the final corner. That is struggles for LOI Not Jack. Traffic clearing efficiency is now the name of the game. Who's going to be able to better clear that Audi of LOI Not Jack? Look at the struggles. Let's go on board with him through the first sector. He is not looking comfortable in that car. Bluefoot into the pits. 10-second penalty. Retires from the race. I think he's going to go play something else with the Shamrock. It's Shamrock and it's Bluefoot, both theoretically out of this race. There is LOI Not Jack losing the position to Pooley up the inside. There's FaZe Monkey, nice and easily followed through by the Cadillac driver, and time gained more crucially between the two of them. LOI Not Jack, though, is a rocket ship on this straight. Is he going to try and have a bit of a fight? It looks like he might against Yari. Backs out in the end. FaZe Monkey, sorry. Backs out in the end. Further back, Yari has cleared Quiet Boy. Massive lockup. Further forward for Hyper 295 F1. Yari up to P6. 2 more places for him to gain before he is on the net podium. Yellow flags further back as well. That's Bluefoot, whose retired car is coming out of the pit lane. Here is FaZe Monkey yet again. These guys have been swapping for the past few laps regarding their position, and that's not going to change now. FaZe Monkey, even with that massive lifting coast, is going to be on the inside of Pooley. He is going to look to take the race lead. It's a good exit. It's great traction. Overtake will be his. And surely that's the position taken by FaZe Monkey's Cadillac. P1 at the start of lap 16. Sean Moist gets past Shamrock's disconnected car. Out on circuit, 2 drivers still yet to be passed. The disconnected car of Shamrock out in front though. It's Cadillac back on top, but it's gonna be temporary. We know it's only temporary. These two have been fighting out, and when Yari was there, he joined the party. Yari has really lost out at this point by not pitting behind that safety car, losing the little bit of time he would by double stacking to gain it all back. It's a good exit though for Yari on the back of Hyper and HB Cook here, but the straight line speed not quite there it seems. He's got more battery. Can he do anything with it? It just doesn't seem like enough at this point in the race. Hyper very wide in the hairpin, but that doesn't cost him anything for the time being. FaZe Monkey, great exit by the way, out of this corner right here to pull himself away by a couple tenths from Pooley. Surely Yari has something left to give. He needs to have something left to give to fight back against the 2 guys ahead of him and get himself to this podium. LOI Not Jack has soldiered on so far this race. He is going to continue to soldier on the rolling roadblock right now. Is he going to try and hold up this train with Hyper, HB Cook, Yari and Quiet Boy? Because his teammate, ST, 4.3 behind, looking like the best chance of points right now, at least decent points for the Audi team. So just have to keep an eye on how that develops. Sprint F1, by the way, up to P10, started P21. joined us between the sprint and the main race. So the sprinter didn't get to do the sprint, but we got him in eventually. Phase Monkey out in front. Has Pooley coming up behind him, but Pooley surely not close enough to make a move. Let's look down at P4 then of Hyper. More crucially, P6. Here comes Yari, and this should be easy. It should be set. But HB Cook, ever the fighter in that Aston Martin, is going to try and keep the position. Yari is going to try and force it. There's just no way through in that part of the track, as the cars almost go 90-degree angles, right to left. In my eyes, Pooley yet again is close to the back of Phase Monkey's Cadillac. A lot of battery for the two of these. They are doing incredibly well with their deployment usage right now to keep themselves in that game set position. By the way, I didn't check yet. Does that Ferrari already have the Macarena wing? We will just have to wait and see on this main straight. I want to take a look on board. Well, off board here. No, it doesn't look like it. Cancel the race. They've not updated the Macarena wing in this update. It's Jova. LY Not Jack has pit for a fresh set of tyres down there in P11. It's a fresh medium for him to take all the way to the end of this race. What does he have in that car? 2.1 Sprint F1. So a couple places potentially on the cards here, but fighting deep into the top 5, unlikely as it stands. Your top 2 still Phase Monkey and Pooley, as it has been for a good chunk of time. Yari, your pole sitter, is there in P5. 3-second penalty and difficulties on the cards for him right now. Hyper has really been a cork in the bottle for HB Cook, it seems. And that's hurting Yari even more, because HB Cook overtake mode and slipstream, you've got to remember. So they've got the same tools at their disposal. The two of them are neither yet able to get past either themselves or Hyper. This might change though. HB Cook, he had a look, he thought about it. Hyper deep into the hairpin. Is this an opening? Finally, maybe for one of these two to make a move. HB Cook looked to be a bit compromised on that exit. Is Yari willing to send it? He is not. Yari, please. ST and Quiet Boy into the pits, by the way. P6 and 7 right now. ST off hard. Quiet Boy onto another hard, which I believe he started the race on a set of hards and boxed earlier to get rid of him for a medium. This will be to the end now for a last 10 lap run with that hard compounder tyre for ST and Quiet Boy. Yellow flags further back. Is that Billy going slowly? It is Billy going slowly. Positions lost down to P10. Sean Moist and Ben both also into the pit lane right now as things continue to develop. Here's Yari. He's going to try and fight his way through the two of them. Forced off track maybe a little bit by Hyper. Is that going to be complained about? Potentially. Yari still stuck there in P5, and that is going to be frustrating the hell out of him, because at one point he was up there in P3. Ben retires, and this is the full safety car deployed now. Surely you would be stupid not to take a pit stop under this safety car, even if you just pit. Maybe not ST, maybe not Quiet Boy, maybe even not Jack for the pit stops. Into the pits we must go on lap 19, starting lap 20. It's 10 to go from here. What are the tyre choices? It is literally the sprint race left to go. Pooley onto a medium. It is mediums for Phase Monkey, who retains his lead. HB Cook into the pits. Hyper into the pits. Yari into the pits. Everyone filing through. Slow stop for Yari. It wasn't going to affect him anyway. Fresh medium. HB Cook and Puzant, two drivers on hard. Not Jack decides to take the stop. So were his tyres in a bad enough spot that the pit stop was worth it already? That'd be concerning for anyone trying to go to the end. ST and Quiet Boy, as expected, decide to stay out on track They're already on a decent set of hard compound tyres. No need to risk it. You're looking at the likes of Richie, Joker, Billy Wiz and Sprint F1 all looking to work here. LOI Not Jack P10 for the moment with plenty of work to do. But look at this as well. Daniel has stayed out on 4-lap old hards. Joker has boxed for 4-lap old hards. Has Joker done 3 stops? Joker's done 3 stops. Though I didn't spot his earlier stop. Penalty situation is 3 seconds up and down the grid. For P5 Yari, P7 Puzzant, P9 Daniel, P14 Shaw Moist, and P15 Shamrock, who is not driving anymore in this race. Out in front, it's FaZe Monkey and Pooley. Your top 2. Hyper has been granted a gift from God to now be P3 with fresh tyres. Who is going to do the most harm to their tyres under this safety car? Who needed this safety car for fuel? And who is benefiting the most? Benefiting the most, probably Yari Hyper and HB Cook, finding a lot of help from it. LOI Not Jack isn't going to be complaining either. ST and Quiet Boy, despite pitting just a lap before the safety car came out, did a bit of a Kimi Antonelli there, fellas. They'll have good hards to the end. Look at Joker as well. He'll be able to close his gap back up to the field. Think of the likes of Sprint F1. Again, close up to the pack and have a go at it right at the very end. But it's FaZe Monkey, Pooley, Hyper and Yari are my bets as it stands for the 4 people that might fight for the win. Yari will be fighting, I reckon, but he won't be winning it because it's even Stevens up and down the grid when we get going. It'll either be 7 or 8 laps remaining, and it'll be 7 laps you do not want to miss. Break time is over. It's no longer all fun and games. 7 laps to go when FaZe Monkey crosses the line, holding the restart of this race. And he will launch it. When has he launched it? Out of the final corner. He has gone. And we are back to racing speed in VRS. FaZe Monkey will lead from Pooley into turn 1. At the safety car restart, Quiet Boy already close. Further back is that Daniel having a look at. He's been had a look at, actually. By LOI Not Jack, who's going to force his way through quite handily. And Not Jack up to 8th even, because ST has given up that position. He might be up to 7th already. The positions coming thick and fast for the Audi driver, maybe consuming a little more battery than ideal to try and get it done. But all is well that ends well. Out in front, FaZe Monkey leads still from Pooley. Hyper 295 F1 benefiting, as I would have guessed, from that safety car. And hanging on to P3 for now. It's 7 laps, 6.5 more like now, for these guys to scrap this out. Daniel and ST are going to fight it out as well into the stadium part of the track. I think this might also be the site of a bit of a fake marina. You never know. Under the highway they go. ST stays in P9 for now. How long can he hold on? How long can Daniel hold on? Because he has a very angry Lewis McMeown on the back of him, getting ready to go all out to the very end. But Lewis not making a go of it just yet. Up the order though, Yari has dropped away. HB Cook has gone with this leading pack, but it's the fastest lap of the race for Yari Bolos P1, 27.9. For him, he's going to need a little bit more to get inside overtake mode. Lap 24 though, and we are continuing on. FaZe Monkey has a 3/10 advantage over Pooley, who's going to be feeling the dirty air, who's going to have a racing ball close behind, but he's pushed on a little bit harder to open that gap up to Hyper 295 F1. It's a good exit for Pooley from the long left-hander. Here he goes. FaZe Monkey, surely not a match at this stage of proceedings. Through goes Pooley into the lead. FaZe Monkey's going to try and go to the inside. He locks up, and there's contact. Hyper is going to look to the outside. It's 3 people trying to fight it into one corner. Pooley is going to maintain P2. FaZe Monkey is going to wait and take P1. Hyper has abused some beautiful ghosting there to take that P2 position. He wants this win. He wants it real bad. Down the back straight, there you go. Hyper all over the road. Pooley is going to be aggressive yet again. He's up the inside of the both of them. FaZe Monkey and Hyper both being taken by Pooley into one corner. The fight back from FaZe Monkey is real though. He is using the battery into turn 1 hard on the brakes to the outside. And their wheel hooked. And that's what cost it in the end. Pooley and FaZe Monkey off the track. Here is Yari, by the way, joining the fun in P5. Not able to do anything about it. Pooley and FaZe Monkey are still going to try and scrap it out however they can. They've got, though, 2 cars behind them, ready to try and take advantage of anything that comes from this fight. It doesn't look like it's over yet. There's Yari dropping to P6. Poor exit against the Quiet Boy, who's up to P5. Pooley, though, will be trying to get his way to P4 to P3, fighting FaZe Monkey hard. They are scrapping. It's 4 wide, almost into the hairpin. Yari is going to stick a nose up the inside. He is going to try and fight it. There's FaZe Monkey coming back at the both of them. A little bit of argy-bargy. Elbows are out between these guys. FaZe Monkey maintains P3, but there are going to be arguments after this race, I can almost assure you. FaZe Monkey, Pooley and Yari having a grand old scrap through the middle sector of the lap. Meanwhile, up in front, there's HB Cook, for now, taking the lead in that Aston Martin, who has had, with a good stream of results for the team. Is it time for them to get a win in Velocity Racing Series? We've got 4 more laps to decide it. At this stage, in the race. Hyper, though, already making mistakes, already feeling the pressure, and that is just going to magnify. FaZe Monkey and Pooley once again are going to fight it out. More little bits of contact going between the two of them. Pooley defending. Offense from FaZe Monkey. FaZe Monkey drops away. And now it's on Yari to carry the torch for Cadillac. And he is going to fight with his heart there. Around the outside, it can't be done. At least for now. FaZe Monkey drops to the back of this little scrap. It's not even little anymore. Hyper's going to retake the lead. That is expected. Here comes Yari. He's going to try and make this move and make it stick. LOI Not Jack is going to do the both of them on the inside for LOI Not Jack. Can he do anything about it around the outside? He will try and go. But no. Yari is a brick wall right now, but he's got to be careful as well, because look at that gap. Look at the gaps behind him. If these all shrink, you're going to see Yari maybe drop out of the points because he's leading a train. So he better be sure he has the pace to continue this lead that he currently holds. Good exit for HB Cook. Yellow flags in that final corner. But FaZe Monkey and Pooley are both in the wall. Where the hell am I? Get me Richie. What has happened to the two drivers that were scrapping it out? I don't know. FaZe Monkey, I think, is just retired on track. I think he's just given up on this race. But Pooley is out of contention now. Cadillac on for such a good result as well. And it's all been thrown away for the time being. Yari needs a good few laps now. He wants to win this race. He is hungry. So is Hyper. So is HB Cook. Here is HB Cook on the back of the Racing Bull. No move going to be made. Yari might be about to drop out of that P3 spot with LOI Not Jack taking the position. Quiet Boy, though, not doing so bad himself. Williams, 5 and 6 on the track, even with a little bit of drama. Pooley has already been in the Discord, by the way. He said Lamau okay. I can't wait to see this ticket get opened. FaZe Monkey as well is not very happy right now. There's HB Cook to the inside of Hyper. Hyper's trying to get it rotated very sharp. It's kind of stopping on a point. And HB Cook at the start of lap 28 leads with 2 to go. The lead is HB Cook's. The podium currently, even if Yari makes the move, would stand for LOI Not Jack. Exciting moments out here as we come to the end. And that's Hyper going sideways, going backwards. That is Hyper throwing away his chance at the win. HB Cook will be spinning right now. Seeing Hyper has gone backwards. What does Yari have? Can he do anything? He needs to fight hard now to build any gaps he can. Right now, I believe he'd finish P7 on track. But that's not how he wants it to finish. That's a massive slide, though, from Yari. The two Williams drivers also fighting it out behind as well. These guys don't need to have the scraps, but they're going to do it anyway. Puzant up to P5 with that 3-second penalty. Yari in P4. Is Puzant going to try and have a move against Yari in the final stages of this race? HB Cook right now is round the final corner for the penultimate time. He is getting ready to go to the end of the race. It's 1 lap to go for HB Cook. It is no risk on fuel. It is no risk on anything for him. The real scrap is further back for P3. Right now, Hyper bottled his chance of a race win. He'll do what he can, but there's not much more that the Racing Bull would be able to do against all of these guys. LOI Not Jack holds P3 for now. Anything can change from now to the checkered flag. LOI Not Jack, P3 right now. How much is the hold going to be? Here comes Yari, though. The exit looks decent. It's nothing super special, though. This toe is going to have to be extreme. Or the battery advantage. Incredulous. But he's got nothing left. Yari is P4, and it looks like he might be stuck there. Unless Puzant undoes the work. He was deep on the brakes. He was right up to LOI, not Jack. But not able to finish the move, not able to conclude his symphony today. The driver that has done it all. He has shown a spell of form that we wouldn't have expected coming into this season. We're talking about Yari trying to conclude his symphony. HB Cook in the Aston Martin is creating beautiful melodies right now in the Aston Martin garage. It is a win for Aston Martin. It is the win for HB Cook. Hyper 295 with his little bottle towards the end gives HB Cook relief, but comes home P2. It's LOI, not Jack, to come home on the podium in an Audi after a massive struggle in the sprint race. It's P4 for Quiet Boy, P5 for Yari. ST dropped too far back at the end, so has to settle for P6. Puzant in P7 with multiple penalties. P8 was certainly someone that existed. And P9 for Daniel, who was like, how did I hang on to that P9? I believe it would have been Joker OSRT, the driver who finished P10. It wasn't. Joker was P8. Daniel P9. Billy Whiz P10. Your final 2-point scorers are Sprint F1 and Shaw Moist. Richie finished a decent chunk away right at the end, and Shamrock disconnected. Couldn't do anything about it. Investigations will go on after the race, but we will join you back very shortly for some interviews with your top three. We are back live, and I am first joined by the man finishing on the podium for what I believe might be the first time this season. I really hid away any chance of knowing this information before I started this before I started this interview. LOI, not Jack. Not Jack. That looked pretty feisty today.
Yeah, a bit up and down. I used a different setup in every session. So, quality was quite poor because my first lap I just binned it. Second lap, like it's my first proper lap, I didn't know what was up with the battery, so I think I lost a lot of time there. And then the last lap, I don't think nailed the battery. I used too much in the first sector, and then, it was only up like half second and spun anyway.
Yeah, we did see that. We did see that right and nicely on the live stream. So I caught in 4K there, having a nice little spin.
Nice.
Let's talk about your sprint race, though. I mean, it just looked like an absolute struggle. Every single corner, every single lap, it just looked painful to drive. Was it just setup, or was it also just getting used to driving the track?
Well, I for sure wasn't like I was in an incident in the exit of the first corner, lost my entire wing, and then from there, like I pitted, felt good for a few laps. I can't remember who I was racing, but it was handy to just have someone like back there with me to actually fucking not be bored with, like just have something to do. But then I felt good, like got past, and then was ahead of him for a while, and then I just started noticing that traction was feeling a bit dodgy, and I checked and my rears were on 110. No matter what I was doing, they just weren't coming back down. And then I started spinning, they started going above 110. It's like, what can I do?
Look, at the end of the day, the sprint's not worth as many points as the main event. And in the main race, you just kind of looked a bit unstoppable throughout. Obviously, your teammate was, I think, a bit more than polite anytime you were behind him in that race, from what I saw live. But, the pace just seemed to come to you in the race. I mean, what changed? Was it just setup, or did you find a bit of confidence as well, just from the practice you did in the sprint?
I used a much different setup compared to the first one. I was running much less wing, and I think I don't know if it was, if the setup was just inherently better on tyres, or it's because like I'm going slower in the corners, I was just better for tyres. I made overtaking a bit easier, which is handy when I can't remember where I started, and I started quite far down. So that was good. VSC time in the first one wasn't great for me because I pitted the lap before it. The very first one actually was poor for me because I was really poor for tyre wear in the sprint race, so I didn't think I'd make it to the end, so I had to keep going. Then that kind of put me back down to like 11th or something like that, and I was starting to find my way up, and then I pitted, and then the actual safety car came out, and then I had to pit again because I wanted like a tyre advantage. I was only going to lose 2 places, and one of them was to ST, who was being quite good to me, so it's like I may as well give it a shot.
I mean, look, it looks like Audi have a great team environment between the two of you, because you two just working together very nicely throughout both of the races, trying to see whoever's faster, just go for it. And I mean, it's working out for you guys, decent points scored on the board today. And is that something that through the season is going to hopefully benefit the team, or is there more?
It's good, because obviously it's slower to be fighting people the whole time, so it's nice to have someone that, like if I'm quicker than him, he'll let me through and save tires and save time, and if he's quicker than me, like I'll do the same for him. And it's handy, like I was asked to invest setups and realised that what I had was absolutely miles off. So that gave me a bit of like confidence to like on what changes to make. Which definitely helped me in the race, because if I was using the original setup, like I probably wouldn't have made it past like lap 5 without a spin. It's been good having a teammate up there, to be fair.
I mean, last question for you, not Jack. We've got Bahrain coming up next. Obviously not a sprint. This wasn't even scheduled to be a sprint initially. But how's Bahrain for you, and do you reckon this is a chance for you to fight for a win this season?
I think, I don't know, like I'm all right around Bahrain, but I think everybody kind of is. It's one of those tracks that like no one really dislikes. It's another track I haven't really done any kind of like meaningful sessions on. I don't know like what the crack is. A battery around there. I assume you probably save a bit in like the end of sector 1, start of sector 2. But other than that, I'd say it could be a bit of a challenge. So yeah, I'll just see how it goes.
I mean, all I can tell you is I've seen the absolute worst attempt at saving battery lifting at the start of the straight. So thanks for coming along, Not Jack. Great race for you today, and I want to start speaking to you more often. So get good, Jack, please, for my sake.
Yeah, no bother.
That was LOI Not Jack, the driver, finishing in P3. Next up, your newest full-time driver, newest recruit to the Velocity Racing Series, who was also apparently having a chat with Henry before I moved him over here. Hyper295F1. Congratulations on P2. First full-time race, and it's a great result to come from it.
Yeah. Just standard race, pretty much.
Do you think you were for the win there, or were your tyres starting to go a little bit too bad?
The pace on the tyres was fine, just the temps were like at 115 for 3 laps, so like it was completely unsustainable.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the penultimate lap, I believe. You had your little slide early on, and that cost you 3 seconds, which... Was that what cost you the race win, or was there other things in this race you could have done better?
No, it was that because safety car cancelled everything out. I wasn't going to be able to get past Cookie and Yari, because Yari was a terrorist.
Classic. Yeah, I mean, sprint race, what'd you do in the sprint, Hyper? I didn't actually take a screenshot.
I started, got killed by Daniel on lap 1, went round to the slow part, pile up, I cut the corner, Yari kills me.
Oh yeah, I saw that clip.
Yeah.
Ah, beautiful. Yeah, so, poor sprint race. But you made up for it in the feature. I mean, it's 18 points on the board for your Hyper. It looked like a very good representation of your pace today, obviously.
18? Is it not more? Is it not 25 for second in this league?
I believe it's still 18.
I thought it was 30 for a win and 25 for P2.
No, it's 18 for P2 because I do the standings and I just remembered, yeah, it's 25 for a win, 18 for P2.
Sure?
I'm sure, yeah. From P8 down is you drop by 1 point to allow for top 12 to score.
Ah. I thought it was top 30. Or 30 you got points. It was 30 points for 1. Sorry.
Now you're thinking URC.
Am I? Oh.
Beautiful.
Oh, shit.
I mean, look, we'll talk about the track where I know your thoughts on ERS are weird to say the least, considering your the last time I spoke to you about it. Bahrain, where you were lifting at the start of a straight. How do you think that's going to go for you coming up next week?
What track's next week?
Bahrain.
Oh, I might be sick.
Just because he's lifting at the start of the straight, people, he's going to schedule his illness.
Just because it's Bahrain, not even lifting at the start of the straight. Oh, awful track. No, but to be fair, this race was just basically me and Cook just driving along in our own battle, just literally trying to just keep away from Yari, and then once Yari caught up, I collectively decided, fuck you for the sprint, and then backed him up for 10 laps or whatever it was.
Classic. Alright, well, thank you.
He tried getting past me, I just go, oh no, I missed the braking point a wee bit.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for coming along, Hyper. Yeah, speak to you soon, Hyper. Hopefully, you're faster next week and you're not as crap. But I think we've got the happiest man on the grid coming up next. Mr. Aston Martin Idol himself. The guy who, as far as I know, adores the team he drives for by rigging it in his own league to be able to drive for it. Henry, you are a VRS race winner. How does it feel, man?
Yes, very good. I didn't expect this, to be honest, but when the leaders crash each other out, you've just got to seize the opportunity, and that's what I did.
I mean, look, it was beautifully executed right at the end. I mean, I know you were fighting up in that top 4, even on what was theoretically a worse tyre with the hard compound on. It just looked effortless after the safety car, but let's talk beforehand as well. You climbed your way up the grid a little bit, had your few scraps, and then it looked like it was going to be a pretty nice race to potentially be on the podium.
Yeah, the sprint obviously was just chaotic. I think it's the word we'll use. Got front wing damage of that, but I think we got P5 and P6 for Aston, so gives us a good starting point. So I knew exactly where to lift for the main race. So I took that into consideration. I worked on the battery and then made the updates at the right moment. We got lucky. Well, I got lucky with the safety car at the end. After getting a bit screwed up by the VSC at the start, so you've got to take the opportunity when they come. Like whether we overtake or if people crash out. So
I mean, look,
yeah, I literally I don't tap into words about how that's happened. To be fair,
I mean, look, Henry, it's a beautiful win for you today. Obviously, I think this is the first time we've seen you have a good chunk of pace and be super competitive in the race. Did you feel like that going into it, that you'd be pretty strong around here, or was it a wild card?
No, I don't like this chat with passion. I've said when the calendar was done, I was like, well, Miami's gonna be one of the weak points of my season. I didn't do any practice coming in, so I thought I'll use the sprint as practice. I got us up in the team that I run and worked with, which felt beautiful. So that obviously did me a benefit. But no, like I said, quality I always struggle with. I didn't have the pace and quality, about the Cadillacs, people like that. So, and then race, I don't know how I found that pace, but I'm not going to complain. Just got to take it as a stepping stone and get even quicker for the rest of the season.
So I'm assuming with that, you feeling you're going to be quick for the rest of the season, Bahrain is a track to look forward with you for.
Yeah, like I said, Miami, as I said just previously, is not one of the best tracks, so it's a positive step to take. So hopefully the stronger tracks that I feel pretty confident around, I can get results. Bahrain being one of them. I feel pretty quick at Bahrain. I think we started last in VRS where Joker won, and I think I was there for the entire race. But New Reds, first time I've ever done a lead race on Bahrain, so we'll just pray that it actually feels nice and get us open. Hopefully, yeah, this is the start of something special.
Well, I sure hope so, Henry, because it's been great seeing you in form. That team you races for, OSRT, Owls Racing Team, partnered alongside Owls Racing League, one of our partner leagues. Thank you for coming along, Henry. Let's see you get a few more wins this season. Let's see you win the championship. You might actually be up there in the championship scrap now as well. That's the worst. That's the best part about it. Because
that's a hell of a long way to go.
I mean, well, Rian didn't race. Yari didn't have a great result. Chardino didn't race. Mr. Arbang retired. Daniel didn't have a great result. Not Jack was P3, and he's only a few points ahead of you. You're P11 right now. I mean, you're up. You might be the championship leader, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, like I said, look, championship title race is something that I'd love to be in. But I'm not going to look too far in the future. I'll just take it one race at a time, and then when we get to probably round 10, see where we're at, and then go into the final 2 races, see what we can do.
Oh, beautiful. That's the mentality. Thank you, HB Cook. We will... Well, I'll maybe speak to you on Sunday, most definitely, because Owls Racing League. On the subject of Owls Racing League, one of our partner leagues, races Sundays, every Sunday at 8 p.m. On top of that, URC... racing on Thursday around Silverstone for what I believe is actually a sprint race as well, but I will have to ask Shamrock because we haven't broke down which ones are sprints. Thank you all for coming along today. It is certainly a scuffed stream. I mean, the beautiful Be Right Back graphic will remain for the rest of today. Henry probably leads the drivers' standings right now. Aston Martin with a good points haul for the constructors, as are Williams as well, who are such a team. Cadillac looked good, fell apart towards the end, but we will see you next week for the Bahrain Grand Prix.